So to be an original in your coaching, because that's what we're teaching, lean on your past. So me being an original was I took the fact that I was born lower income, and then so I have compassion for people. I was in a cramped environment, so I don't want to be cramped, and I don't want you to be cramped. And then I love sports, so I started using those metaphors. Take a Lewis Howes. He was a professional football player. He uses a lot of those things. So whatever your past is, take from your past and use it in your coaching. Because if you just mimic somebody, you're going to be like a karaoke coach.
I'm sitting here with the legendary Tim Story talking about how to build a successful life coaching business. This is part 2. Today we're talking about how to be original. Tim, what do you got for us?
Number one, thanks for doing this. It's really helping people, right?
I hope so, man. That's the goal.
So there's a saying that says, you were born an original, don't die a copy.
I like that.
But nobody knows who came up with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So to be original is unique, one of a kind. So I think that even in coaching, we can learn from other coaches from the past, because coaching's been around a long time. But I also think that you need to be original. And a lot of that is based on what your life story is.
Okay. So who have you learned from in the past that impacted you the most, just as a starting point?
Okay, so my life story is, lower income, struggling, 7 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. So I really tend to lean towards the struggler, okay? So it is a funny thing. Someone gave me a book about the life of Mother Teresa.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, junior in high school, I started to read about Mother Teresa. I read one book, then read another book, and then I started studying different articles about Mother Teresa on how she had a heart for the orphans. Mm-hmm. And so I learned how she was mentoring orphans. So really my original mentor, how cool is this, is Mother Teresa.
That's wild. That's cool.
Yeah, she loved the underdog.
Okay, so did you meet her?
I never met her. No.
Okay.
I never met her, but I studied where her house was, how she learned, who her mentors were, the sacrifice that she made, and so I learned from her successes and challenges. And you've heard this before. Success leaves clues. Mm-hmm. And so I saw that she was caring, she was compassionate, but she also really learned how to take people and put them into a program so they can get out of their situation.
So amazing. If Mother Teresa, that's such a wild as mentor, as a life coach.
For a kid from Compton.
I love it. It's great. So Mother Teresa is your mentor.
Yes.
You're going to learn from her from the books and documentaries and things that have been written about her, because she didn't have a YouTube channel to watch her videos.
Exactly.
Now, how do you take what she did and say, okay, I'm going to apply that to life coaching and be an original?
Okay, so here's what we got. So the original side of Mother Teresa is that she was a school teacher, and she was going in to teach one day, and she was a nun, and she noticed that the same orphans were outside the school day after day. And she started thinking to herself, I need to do something about these orphans. So she started to educate the orphans just on the streets. And then she said, I got to take this even deeper. And she found a place for just a few orphans to actually live. Well, more and more orphans started finding out about it. And so now they begin to gather. So she was educating them, housing them, educating them, housing them. It's powerful, right? Mm-hmm. So then she came to her superior and said, I think that this is my calling. So that was her original thing. And that was Mother Teresa being original. So her compassion was real. Her love was real. And then the fact that she knew I had to educate them and I need to feed them. So with Tim's story being an original in what I do, I took it from Mother Teresa. I need to educate people, and I need to feed them, not food. I need to feed them the right information so they could rise up. So very, very similar, compassion and food. And I'm feeding you material to help you rise up. That's what I do.
I love it, man. That's wild. I got to
Yeah.
process that. So how do you get, for people watching, they want to be a life coach, or trying to
Yes.
figure out how can they be original, what would you recommend as a starting point or process?
I think it's very important to look at your past. Like, what were your interests when you were little? And so, what my interest when I was little was, I love sports, but I also really always had compassion for people. So early on in my life coaching, I used a lot of sports metaphors.
Okay.
So I'm known for this. I could be like telling a powerful Beverly Hills woman, she'll go like, so what do I do? The fool left me after 20 years. I go, you got to just hit singles. And she goes, what's that have to do with anything? I go, yeah, because most people, they try to hit home runs, but just hit a single, hit another single, hit another single, hit another single, and you'll build your confidence. So it's really a crack up that sports metaphors, even the Beverly Hills women, actually work.
Do you know where the out of left field comes from?
I do not, but I love to study all those things. Whenever there's a saying that I don't understand, I like to find that out. So it's probably like from out of nowhere, like it wasn't expected.
Right, but why? It's a baseball analogy, I'm assuming, because it's left field.
Yes.
But why that?
Yeah, I think it could have been out of right field, but the person just thought of left field. So it just means
I'll have to look it up.
It means from out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just was curious as to why.
Yeah.
Like I get the singles and the home runs.
But isn't that wild? So me being an original was, I took the fact that I was born lower income, and then so I have compassion for people. I was in a cramped environment, so I don't want to be cramped, and I don't want you to be cramped. And then I love sports, so I started using those metaphors. So to be an original in your coaching, because that's what we're teaching, lean on your past. And if you love deep sea fishing, use those as some metaphors. Some of these guys that have been captains of ships, they use that, right? Or take a Lewis Howes. He was a professional football player. He uses a lot of those things. So whatever your past is, take from your past and use it in your coaching.
That requires courage
Yes,
to be an original.
does.
To say I'm going to be a life coach based off of Mother Teresa's philosophy of feeding people,
Right.
is a wild concept. That to lean in on it and to succeed with it requires courage.
Yes, so it depends on how good you want to be at being a coach. Because if you just mimic somebody, you're going to be like a karaoke coach. You got a pound right there, buddy.
I was thinking Elvis impersonator, but
That
it's the
was
same
good,
thing.
man.
Karaoke coach.
There's too many karaoke coaches out there. Does that make sense?
I'm 100%.
Look, they're just like reading.
It's
they're
not
just
even a sports analogy.
they're
It's
just
you're going
reading
off.
and coaching.
Yeah.
I'm not a karaoke coach, yo.
I love it.
Says because I'm bringing my stuff. I'm bringing the fact that, man, I have been through pain. So I just met with probably one of the most famous men in the whole world. And so I came in and he goes, you don't have any notes on you? Like he thought I was going to walk in. Seriously, he's one of the most famous men in the whole world. I didn't come in with a big binder. I came in with me. I just started dropping bombs on the guy. Just saw his life just start changing like in 30 minutes. Why? Because I'm original. I'm dropping my life story. I'm dropping my education. I'm dropping what I learned. It's like Jay-Z. He's not nervous to get up there and rhyme because he's not a karaoke Jay-Z. He is Jay-Z.
Joker J. I don't know. You gotta. No, I love that.
This is good, right?
But it still requires confidence, like courage, to go and do the thing. And am I good enough that my story will move people?
Yes. So practice. Mm-hmm. So practice. Like, okay, when you're going into a convenience store, someone's going to be there begging. Okay, coach them. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You have friends. coach them. See what's hit, see what's missed, see what's working, see what's not working. Yeah. Like I'm coaching people every day. If you went with me to the airport, okay, I got to go somewhere on Wednesday, you will see from the minute I walk through LAX to the time I get on the plane, someone's going to say, hey, Tim Story. Right from the beginning, the guys that handle bags, yo, what's up, Tim? Tim, hey, just a second. I got this situation with my girlfriend. Boom, 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 boom. Because I've been rolling through there for 25 years. So they know what I do. They know who I am. They're always asking me, hey, Tim Story. I cannot go to a restroom on any airplane. I mean, any airplane. If I get up and walk to the back, somebody grabs me.
Right.
It's a true story. Hey, Tim Story. So you can coach everywhere. Practice.
But you're saying even if they don't know you, you do the outreach. You go and find somebody who might need help.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I'm known as a coach. So if you're not known as a coach, look for the need. Success is finding the need and filling it. So just be open, okay? Pay attention, realize there's hurting people everywhere, and then share your story.
And if it's life coach, I don't think most people love their life.
Yeah.
So everybody's in need.
Everybody's
Somewhere.
in need. Everybody's going through something at some point in their life. Here's another way of looking at it. Everybody's coping right now. Okay? So when you go to get gas, if you decide to go in the store to maybe get water or something else, that person, the reason they're acting grouchy could be they're coping with something. So maybe you just say some kind words. So I'm telling you, everywhere around here where I live, I'm coaching probably like 33 people in this whole area that work at places. Not joking. If you went with me today to some of these places, even a Starbucks, probably 3 of their employees are going to say, hey, Tim Story, and ask me a question.
Do you think you need to start off as a karaoke coach and then develop your style, or do you go original from the start?
No. You do have to start off as a karaoke coach. You have to mimic somebody to start. So you could see coaches that you look to, Brene Brown, Iana Van Zandt, Tim Story. You got to find coaches that you look to, and then the better you get, your own style will begin to emerge. Just like in basketball, like study Michael Jordan, study Larry Bird, how he dribbles. Okay, so it's okay to be a karaoke coach at first, but don't be a karaoke coach like 7 years in.
Got it. So
Be original. That's what we're talking about.
So you're putting on the Tim Story hat, you're seeing how it fits, trying it on, but at some point it's going to feel just a little bit uncomfortable in some spots because it's Tim Story and not you.
Yeah, I mean they're spitting my rhymes everywhere I go. Like everywhere I go, someone's saying, sometimes you got to get left before you get right. That's Tim Story, right? Don't get stuck in an almost life. That's Tim Story. But what a compliment that now they are karaokeing my songs.
Right.
Right?
And so how do I find that original piece when I'm trying on your hat?
The more you do it, just like what you do. Okay, you're really good at what you do. So
Thank you.
the more you do it, it just starts coming out. Then it's just you. Like,
And then you have to
bam.
trust it.
Trust
it. Have the courage to trust it. So this is a 10-part series with Tim Story on how to build a successful life coaching business. Up next is understanding your audience. Go click the link next to us and we'll see you there.